This is ST-321, code clearance blue. We're starting our approach to deactivate the security shield.
Hi, I'm Paul and I'm with my mate James and welcome to Code Clearance Blue, a show where we discuss all things Star Wars from our home here in the UK.
We would be honoured if you would join us.
I've been looking forward to this.
Hi everybody, welcome to a new episode of Code Clearance Blue with myself, James, and Paolo in the house as always. I hope you're doing all right, mate.
Yeah, very well, very well. Good week, more Star Wars action.
Indeed,
good.
Plenty of. Yeah,
and it's been a short week this week because we had a little bank holiday, didn't we?
We did indeed. Yeah. Bank holiday Monday, celebrating VE Day. It seems like VE week this week, didn't it?
VE week. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's been good. Very, a lot of. My little one, he dressed up as a VE Day special on Thursday, right? And so I sent you a text, didn't I? And I said to him, "Where we say you're from Gorman," because he looks like he had the old 1940s cap on and little waistcoat, and he looked the part, So I was like, "Yeah, there we go. That's what we're doing." So I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah, it was great. He looked like a proper 1930s, 1940s kind of extra from a lower low sort of thing.
Yeah. Extra from part of the Gorman Massive.
Yeah, my boy was allowed to wear red, white, and blue basically, so anything he wanted. So there wasn't really as much imagination went into his outfit. Just blue trainers, red top.
Nice.
Yeah, dark blue jogging bottoms. Happy days. So he's not from Gorman.
No, well, this was a recycled one when our older boy was a Victorian. About 4 years ago. So, comes in handy, this stuff.
Mate, I can't keep up with all the newfangled kids' fads. Victorian, Gorman.
That's it. It comes in handy, that little costume. Nice. But yeah, anyway, so we'll break up these episodes anyway, because we tried to do 3 episodes in about half an hour. It's always ends up being about an hour and a half. So I thought, let's split them up episode by episode. With episode 9, maybe a bit more emphasis on that one because there's a lot more going on. But let's start with episode 7.
Indeed, it's entitled Messenger, wasn't it?
Messenger, yeah, indeed. So that was good.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a great way of starting. We see a big, massive wide shot of old Yavin, the rebel base. And it's picked up now. It's got a lot more action going on. Feeling very Rogue One-y. Not many X-Wings or anything, but there's a few of them kicking about. But a lot of troop ships coming in and out. Yeah,
they're basically, it's kind of looking almost as if it, like you say, in Rogue One and A New Hope, it's kind of getting there now, isn't it? There's droids rolling around, there's people in familiar looking outfits, etc., and all that. And then like you say, not many ships, but then obviously they're still in infancy, aren't they? So
yeah, we're still obviously. I'm guessing sort of the next batch we'll see a lot more Rogue One looking like. So yeah, we can see them slowly building the army.
Yeah,
which is great.
And then, but we also get to see like an expanse of the area as well, where there's like allotments and
allotments and where people are living, little villages on stilts, and obviously Andor's got the best gaff, and he's got a nice little apartment going on.
What he did, he paid the extra 60 euros for the roof. You know what I mean?
Well, he's moving up the command chain, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
it reminded me of one of those holidays where you go and stay like in a tent or a yurt at the top of a tree or something,
Yeah, very much like that. Yeah, so it's quite good. It looks like that kind of experience, and you get to see the giraffes.
Do you reckon they got one of them like walk-in things where you go around the treetops?
Yeah, go to the treetops, see some elephants.
Yeah, like Go Ape or something.
A bit of go ape training.
But him and Bix seem like they've made a nice little home there, and it sounds like Andor hasn't really been going out and about much because he's got that injury on the shoulder that Bix seems quite concerned about, and I think he mentions that he's not really been out on a mission for a while or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's quite. So obviously he's been there helping build this base, because he says later on he lives there. So yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah, it was very good. And then a familiar face comes bounding up.
Yeah,
interrupts the old sexy time.
Yeah, he's like trying it on. It's like, no, forget about the shoulder.
And then, the boy turns up. Hello, everyone.
The boy turns up. Hello, I haven't seen you in years. Where have you been?
It's been precisely 1 year.
Here comes Philbert. Wilmot
with the impeccable timing of C-3PO with Han and Leia.
It is proper 3PO moment, isn't
Superb.
it? So, so that's quite good, because obviously we have a little bit of chit chat around there, and then he comes out with a little iPad, because they're talking about Lutheran, aren't they? And it sounds like Lutheran hasn't been to Yavin.
I don't think he's been formally invited. No.
So there's definitely. It feels like might become another little faction of the Rebel Alliance, which obviously we don't see in Rogue One. So whether he survives, what do you think? Should we do a little prediction?
I don't know.
Do we think he survives, or do you think he sort of just goes in hyperspace to Dagobah?
Yeah.
Joins Yoda.
Yoda's like, this fella landed, but he lives about 2 miles down that way. He's been there for a while,
Quite strange.
Just keeps himself to himself, I'm not sure if he'll survive or not, but it seems pretty clear that they're keeping him away from Yavin, or that he's not welcome there, because as we find out in sort of episodes 9 particularly, I think, like, even his relationship with Mon Mothma is very strained now, isn't it? I think
it feels it. Yeah. And obviously Coruscant, he needs to keep an eye on. I mean, unless, because obviously this is Mom there when she does her thing. Like, it could be that he joins them, or he joins Saul Guevara as well, like in his gang,
Mm-hmm.
Who are obviously a lot more aggressive, who would just love blowing people up and being proper terrorists. So he might get involved with them a bit more, with that faction, or start his own.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Wilman comes in, doesn't he? And he's like, "Oh, we found out that Deidre's on Gorman, and she's out in the open a fair bit. So good opportunity to take her out." And Cassian's a bit like, "Don't know about that. Like, is it really that necessary?" sort of thing.
Bit risky.
Yeah, but then does he know that? Has Bix told him that, like, sort of Deirdre's role in, like, her torture and everything? Does he know all that, do you think? Or
I don't think the torture, but certainly he obviously knows about Ferrex and how she was involved with that.
Yeah,
because I think because he says, "Oh, she killed my father," or was it mother or father? I can't remember. Wilmot's father, mother. So yeah, I know he probably knows that she's involved with that. So that could be enough just to top him over the edge.
Yeah, because Wilman seems very keen on doing it, and I think like Cassian's a little bit like, is this like an order from Luthen sort of thing? Like, you just sense that Luthen's getting further and further away from the core of everything, and that could make him dangerous. Oh my God, I've just had a thought. What if Cassian kills Luthen?
Ah, yes.
Oh yes. My friend.
Yeah, of course. Come and buy this. Yeah, I think,
Hey?
he could do.
What about that?
With his own lightsaber.
What, the one in the ship?
Yeah, that lightsaber laser he's got. Oh, wow, yeah, I remember that. That could be a good shout.
Yeah, I just suddenly thought maybe he's just like one argument too many, and then Luthen's just like makes some sort
or Luthen sort of compromises something.
Yeah,
maybe Luthen just gets fed up that he's not in charge anymore, and there's this whole sort of big thing being built on Yavin, he's not involved.
Yeah, or maybe he issues
maybe
he issues an ultimatum or something, and Cassian's just like, no, we can't be having this.
Yeah.
So yeah, mate. Oh, there you go. See, it's what happens when you start talking to people about it. get ideas.
That's it.
So yeah, so
That's
maybe
it.
that could be the one. But so yeah, so Wilman's like sort of saying to Bix that you've got, you know, this is like really important. We've got to take her out. And then I think we go to Gorman, don't we? And we see a lot of media types hanging around with their futuristic mobile phones, basically doing pieces to camera.
Yeah, well, I didn't really, you know, like the little cameras, yeah, sort of like floating in the air. So I didn't. Apparently, you know, there's some of these in the Senate in episodes 1 and in Clone Wars, in Clones as well.
Okay.
These like cameras that fly around. So I didn't realise. I watched a little clip on YouTube. I think it was from the actual official one. You know, like after they put one now on YouTube, like an official sort of behind the scenes sort of thing of each block. There was a yellow one in episode 1 when you had Chancellor Valorum, and then sort of whizzing round. So that was a camera. I didn't sort of know what it was.
Yeah, I think that makes sense because they've got to document the meetings and stuff, haven't they? And
yeah,
as we kind of see in episodes 9, I think it is. Again, there's like a whole area for like media people to go and their own like swipe cards and all that sort of thing. So
yeah, that was all good. Yeah,
that was good. But no, it was good. It was good to see that. But obviously, we know as the audience that a lot of the media are kind of hyped up to be like, Gorman is like fighting against the Empire, and you know, there's like, you know,
all propaganda.
Yeah, setting up all that propaganda. Yeah, so saying
but Cyril starts to overhear it as he's walking, doesn't he?
That's right.
The square.
That's right.
And obviously, it gets worse as he's walking through it, and as his story develops, you know. All the propaganda stuff's great because that sort of ties in with what that meeting was.
Yes.
Yeah, in the sort of the first episode. You know?
That's right. And then so obviously he's starting to sort of the cogs are turning because he's sort of looking around thinking, well, I don't see any of this day to day on the ground. You know, sounds a little bit dodgy. So yeah, that was quite cool. But then obviously Deidre gets her nose put out of place a little bit because they send over another captain, don't they, or something like she's going to be in charge of the overall operation, but this new captain comes in and he's bringing loads of like security guards and stormtroopers and stuff, and he's going to be the one who's in charge of like the tactical engagement, I think they called it.
Yeah, basically it's been signed off by the Emperor. The Empires have said that, right, okay, we're gonna, because he mentions Edu. Did you pick up on that? He goes, we've been trying to mine stuff in Edu, but Krennic hasn't been successful or something.
Oh, was it?
So now we're going to go with the original. Yeah, so now we're going to go with the original plan. And she's like, okay, when's that starting? Tomorrow.
It's always the way with management, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, we've been sitting about for 7 years, and we're going to do it tomorrow.
Good. Yeah.
The Emperor's, he sent his best troops down.
Bloody
best troops. They're on their way, and they're going to help you out. And then she looks a bit sick, doesn't she? She looks a bit like, oh, okay.
I reckon she thought she'd have a bit more time to maybe try and manipulate the situation to a less severe scale, maybe, or even just to leg it or something. Yeah,
because she obviously then bumps into her other half, and she's like, it'd be so much better when we get back, because that's obviously her thinking, like, it'd be great when we get back out.
Yeah, she's just like, look, pack a bag, get ready to leave, and like when we get back, we're going to be heroes, and we can start living our lives, like, you know, on that level, sort of thing. So she's obviously trying to convince herself that it's going to be worth it because she'll benefit, and Cyril will benefit. And he's just like, why? What's going on? And she's like, just trust me, just like do as I say. So she's still really keeping him at arm's length, despite the fact that I remember the head honcho's name at the ISB now. It's Partagaz. Come on. So
he's really good. He is
really good. Sidebar, he's just been announced at a Comic-Con this year.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, a small one as well. So it's a nice local, not a big London or Liverpool or anything like that. It's a little local Surrey one. So.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, might
probably lives around Surrey.
Might pop along and see if I can get him on the pod. Never know.
With that accent. Sorry, accent, isn't he?
Yeah. No, he's very good. He's very good. So yeah, exactly. So Willman eventually convinces Cassian to go, doesn't he? And that's where we get to see one of the old Rogue One favourites come along and be like, "Oi, where do you think you're going?"
Yeah. As always, because he says that all the time, doesn't he, Rogue One? It's like, you can't go, you can't leave now.
Yeah.
You see, you definitely see that happens a lot in Rogue One, doesn't it? Where you going? You're allowed to leave now. You haven't got permission.
Why does no one tell me anything, R2?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We see General. What's his name? General Gravy.
General Gravy.
Gravy. No, not Gravy.
General Draven.
Draven.
Yeah. And he comes along and he's like, "Oh, you can't park there, mate. Oh, where do you think you're going?" And Cassian's just sort of dead eyes him and goes like, "I can do what I want."
Yeah.
He's take that fuel line out, prime the ship, and he's just like, "Where do you think you're going now?" And he's like, "Got a mission. Be back later."
He's always on a mission.
He's always on a mission. Always on a mission. So they go to Gorman, and then he gets another alias, doesn't he? He turns into another.
Yes. Yeah.
With a hard to pronounce surname, so I won't ask you to do it.
No, don't ask me. No. Don't even know the main characters. Never mind the made up ones. There's a bit of a meeting underground again by the old resistance.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to Yavin, and it's that lady who's got some sort of kind of special powers.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking, is she like just a healer, or has she got like the Force?
Yeah, felt like it was implying she had the Force, and that's what it was. You know, whether that sort of healing Force power that we see Rey have.
Yes.
On that snake.
Yeah, when you touch the injury and you can like heal it or whatever.
Yeah, that felt like that was what was going on.
Yeah, because I thought originally she'd be like a faith healer or sort of like tarot cards and all that sort of banter, and that's why Cassian's like, "I don't want to go and talk to her." And Bix is like, "No, come, she's really good." And then she kind of lays hands and everything, and then he's like, "Oh, it feels a little bit better." And then he walks off, and she has a chat with Bix, and she's kind of like, "Yeah, Cassian, like that guy's going to be like, who is he? Like, he's going to be really important to what we're up to, like, in the future."
Yeah, she's seen Rogue One, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's seen Rogue One. She's got it on Blu-ray, I've heard.
She's fucking spoiler alert, that one. So I did think that was what we were hinting at there.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because they've not touched on anything sort of Jedi at all, really.
No, but that sort of level of Force sensitive people that we do see in Rogue One with help me with the name, the blind geezer.
Oh, Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, there you go. Him.
No, yeah, but what's his name?
Character. It's been really a while.
Oh, it's really annoying me because he's one of my favourite ones.
Favourite characters.
It'll come back to me. Don't worry. Donnie Yen we're talking about is
Donnie Yen, yeah. So obviously he's got some sort of Force sort of sensitivities, just like Maz does in episode 7. She's got some sort of little sensitivities to it. So, go on.
Chirrut Imwe.
That's it.
Chirrut!
Yeah. I think that's what she's part of that club.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe more than them two, though. So it feels like she actually might be like a Force wielder, if not a Jedi. Do you know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Maz and Chirrut are both kind of like they believe in the Force and they rep it and everything. I think Chirrut isn't actually a Force user. I think he just really, really believes in the ideology and the what they represented and everything. And because his mate Baze is always like, "Oh, he's going on about the Jedi again." Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think, it was interesting to see. It was a bit different for the series to have that in, I think, but in a nice way,
Good. Yeah.
No complaints.
And then sort of jigging along a bit. Then that's when the general says, "Where are you going?" "I'm going out."
What time will we be back? Don't know.
Whenever I want to. And then Bix and Vay have a little chat.
Bix and who?
Remember that? Bix and, is it Vay?
Val.
Val.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Val.
she does pop up, doesn't she?
Yeah. She pops round. So that's quite a good little scene. And then obviously Andor sort of lands and sort of gets what's going on, sees his mate Philbert.
We go and see old Bellboy's got a promotion to front desk.
Front desk, yeah. And gives him the best room.
Yep. And then they're like, "We didn't log you in." Oh, that might be in the next episode, actually. But yeah,
I think that's in the next one.
Yeah. They're just like,
sort of checks them in. Oh yeah, we need to. We'll tell the Imperials tomorrow.
Yeah. And then he's like, when she walks off, he's like, she will as well.
Yeah,
dobbed her right in.
Yeah,
but Cassian's just like, well, a room with a front-facing window over the plaza would probably be best. That'd be lovely. Pats his sniper rifle.
You can see how he does it, old Andor. You can see how he's sort of got these people on board. He's constantly recruiting.
And he's quite a smooth operator.
So I've got his name here, Ronnie Goo. Ronnie Gooja.
That's it. Gooja. Oh, brilliant. But they obviously did that deliberately so he could throw that in as part of the character. Yeah, you know what I mean, just to get people like thinking he's like proper who he is and that. So I think it's good. Little bits like that always make it a bit more real. So that's cool. So he's there, and then obviously the captain kind of brings in some of the security guards and everything, and someone's just like, "Oh my god, they're like 12 years old, aren't they, or something?"
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. No, I thought it was getting a good setup episode.
Yeah.
It was quite short, I think. It wasn't too long. Oh no, it was about 40 minutes.
Yeah, they're all like, none of them are kind of sub 40 minutes so far, I don't think. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And then he goes, checks into his room and then has a little chat with his mate again, and then that's sort of the episode done.
Yeah, Willman's kind of boots on the ground, sort of wandering around. He's with the Resistance, isn't he, downstairs in Cafe Rene and all that. And then Cassian looks out the window to survey the lie of the land, and that's where we're at, isn't it? So it's good. Yeah, it's good. It was good there, but I feel like it was like a proper like set scene setting episode rather than anything majorly actiony.
And I suppose this sort of is another reason why they're doing them in batches of 3, because it is quite nice watching them as 3, essentially a film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it does have that sort of build up to it, sort of slow build up. Each episode gets a bit faster and a bit faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas if you saw that episode, I mean, it wouldn't be that upsetting, to be honest, if you just saw that episode on its own. But it is quite nice having the second and the third one after.
Yeah, I get the feeling that if once all the episodes are out, that would be an episode that you probably wouldn't watch as many times as the others. That's all I would say.
Yeah. Certainly, I've been watching the last one more than any other ones.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Cool. Well, we're going to split these episodes up, like I said. So we'll come back and we'll do episode 8.
Episode 8, The Last Jedi. No, wait.
The Last Jedi. No, hang on. Tune into that one as well in a minute.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in at UK Star Wars Pod on Twitter, at Co-Clearance Blue on YouTube and TikTok. Come and get involved. I'd love to hear from you, but for now, may the Force be with you all.
Starting our approach, deactivate the security shield.
Security deflective shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Stand by.